Hello, my name is Yuting Jin. I'm a senior student at Hainan University in China. The paper I will be presenting today is titled Research on the Relationship Between Urban Construction and Tourism Development in China. Here's my context, which includes 4 parts: background, prior and concurrent research, analysis, and conclusions. In the 20th century, after the founding of the People's Republic of China, China established an urban system dominated by industrial functions. Giant industry chimneys are common, especially in northern China. However, since the beginning of the 21st century, China's primary and secondary industry have continued to transfer to the tertiary industry, which makes the original industrial system no longer applicable. Moreover, it will bring many problems such as environmental pollution and backward urban functional areas. China is looking for a sustainable way to develop its cities. At the same time, with the deepening of China's urban construction and globalization, tourism rises and becomes one of the key industries in the 21st century. Naturally, this new industry is associated with urban construction. So what's the relationship between them, and can tourism be used as a carrier and realization of sustainable urban development? These problems will be discussed in this paper by literature analysis and SWOT analysis. Previous studies by scholars have pointed to many benefits that urban construction brings to tourism, such as providing a material economic base. They also point out that tourism can be a sustainable and environmentally friendly way of urbanization, but they didn't explain how we could do it. Similarly, the development of tourism has also brought many impacts to urban construction, such as promoting urban renewal and upgrading industrial structure. What's more, some scholars believe that urban construction and tourism development are two important indicators of a region, and their alliance is a two-way promotion. Although previous studies have given some thinking perspectives, their theories are still vague. Therefore, this paper focuses on the interaction mechanism and internal factors of tourism and urban construction, and the innovative use of industrial linkage method provides a new idea for urban development. I use SWOT analysis to study the influence mechanism of urban construction on tourism. First, strengths. I got data on China's revenue and urban build-up area from the government official website. By combining the two charts, it can be found that with the increasing of urban build-up area in China, the income level of tourism is also increasing year by year. Urban development and construction brought about by urbanization have upgraded infrastructure and advanced the economy, which provides necessary material conditions for the development of tourism. For example, the improvement of traffic accessibility brought about by the upgrading of streets will make travel more convenient. In addition, the renewal and increase of urban functional areas also provide a broader space for development of tourism. Chinese cities, for example, are generally introducing large business centers such as Japan's Ginza. Such a large business center is a good boost to tourism, and people usually get more income in the process of urbanization, which allows them to have a surplus income for tourism and leisure. Then there's weakness. The weakness mainly focuses on the phenomena of convergence. The development of direction of urbanization is mostly modernization, technology, and sustainability, which has led to a strong homogeneity between cities. For example, rafting experience scenic sports and artificial scenic sports can be seen in various cities. And many second-tier cities in China have difficulty in promoting the development of tourism due to lack of features in the process of urban construction. Most of them still rely on industry as the main source of income. In addition, over-commercialization also makes the development city and tourism unsustainable. Kulangso in Xiamen, Fujian province, for example, is facing serious local cultural decline due to over-commercial development. As for opportunities, I put up here a chart from the National Bureau of Statistics, which is data on central government subsidies to local governments from 2000 to 2020. It can be seen that the central government's subsidies to local governments are increasing year by year. That is to say, cities have more money to build themselves, and this is supported by policies. Meanwhile, tourism as an emerging industry that has begun to flourish in the 21st century has great potential. The government will generally consider the factor of tourism in cities' development goals and provide sufficient attention. With the inclination and attention of government's policies, the tourism industry will be radiated with new vitality. In addition, urban construction is bounded to be accompanied by the introduction of foreign capital. These are all good opportunities for tourism development. But it is obvious that the development of the city will inevitably bring diverse cultures. I mean, foreign cultures enter the city. This will have some bad effects on the native culture of the city. Some historical and cultural buildings were damaged or occupied in the process of urban overdevelopment, which eventually led to the decline of the local culture. This is called the tragedy of the commons. In addition, competition among cities also poses a huge threat to the development of urban tourism. Considering tourism comfort, safety, accessibility, and fun, tourists usually prefer cities that are better built. Then it is the analysis of the mechanism of the tourism industry on the urban construction. First, the impact of tourism on the urban population. The tourism has brought more economic income to the city. Therefore, under the influence of economic benefits, a large number of rural people poured into cities, providing more labor output for urban construction. This is a comparison chart of urban and rural population in 2000 and 2019. It can be seen that, compared to 2000, the urban population in 2019 increased by 1.7 times, reaching 48.1%. This provides a huge impetus for urban development. Furthermore, tourism brings tourists from all over the world correspondingly in order to give tourists a good impression and build a business card of the civilized tourist city. The improvement of the city's humanities and the construction of its styles are valued. To a certain extent, this has attracted more high-quality talents to settle in, and it has also enabled residents to continuously improve their civilization and qualities. Tourism also has an impact on the urban economy. Tourism can be a way to attract capital, and according to the total income of the tourism industry and the labor market supply and demand ratio chart, it can be seen that with the development of tourism, the demand for market labor is also increasing, which makes more jobs appear. The increase in employment demand promotes the employment rate, which gives strong support for the development of urban economy. The impact of tourism on the urban ecological environment is a topic that has been discussed all the time. Its influence can be seen as a double-edged sword. On the one hand, the large-scale development of region and the influx of tourists brought about by tourism industry have caused great changes to the carrying capacity of the urban environment. Tourists' domestic waste and tourism infrastructure have contributed to the deterioration of the urban ecological environment to a central extent. However, for a long-term construction of the city, this destruction is temporary. I mean, it could be positive. In reality, economic-driven ecological governance and environmental protection will be longer and more feasible. It can also serve as an experience for later cities to learn from. The first thing to consider when it comes to the impact of tourism on urban politics, culture, and infrastructure is the huge potential of tourism. The rapid development of tourism on an international scale has become a new driving force for economic development. In this context, tourism has become the focus of the new regional policy. Tourism can also be used as a means of publicity for cities in terms of culture. As a marketing method, tourism can become one of the carriers that shape the city business card, promote the city's culture, and increase city's reputation. In conclusion, this paper argues that there is a concept of balance between cities and their corresponding tourism. That is, tourism adapts to the development of the city where it is located, and the development of the city adapts to its corresponding tourism. Secondly, urban construction is the fundamental condition of the development of tourism, and tourism is an accessory and optional condition of urban construction. It means that Tourism as an accessory product is essentially to serve urban construction. It is precisely because of this nature of tourism that it can be ignored in some cases. Then the most important point is the two-way interaction mechanism between urban construction and tourism. Here's a diagram I summed up. There's a close two-way interaction relationship between urban construction and tourism development. The progress or retreat of anyone will have a certain impact on the development of the other. Generally speaking, urban construction will support tourism industry in terms of its material conditions, including infrastructure upgrade, functional area renewal, and policy support. The tourism industry will feedback the city through humanistic propaganda and investment promotion. In addition, it is worth emphasizing that between the two, urban construction is the most basic and more important part. Urban construction is the reason and purpose of tourism development. Furthermore, this paper has limitations due to a lack of actual investigation and social data collection. Therefore, in the future research, it is possible to increase the collection process of resident data and use the data to construct a theoretical model of urban development under the influence of tourism. This will provide a feasible solution to the construction of sustainable cities. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and please email me if you have any questions.